The shooting was over a land dispute and whether neighbors should have access to this narrow section of roadway, which is now gated off. Both parties involved had weapons. Multiple shots were fired, leaving 53-year-old Tim Newman lying dead right here on the ground.
What we have to do now is rule or look for evidence. Was it self-defense or was it a homicide?
Sheriff Dutton returned to the scene of the shooting death, which is being investigated as a potential homicide. The evidence gathered at the scene will determine if any charges will be filed.
Such as the evidence that we got from the autopsy, evidence that we collected here at the scene to determine which story is correct.
The altercation started around 12:30 on Friday afternoon when the two men were apparently arguing over access to this road. According to reports from the landowner who was standing on the other side, Newman was attempting to cut the lock off this gate when the argument ensued. With one man standing on each side, shots rang out and Newman ended up face up on the ground. A handgun was found at his side.
Both were packing weapons, and it is unfortunate that tempers can lead to this.
According to the sheriff, this has been an ongoing land dispute that has even made it to court. But this time, the unresolved issue ended up fatal. Near Augusta, Melissa Anderson, MTN News. The accident was called in around 10:40 Wednesday evening after a bicyclist was struck from behind by a car on North Montana Avenue near Resurrection Cemetery. The accident proved to be fatal.
He died from traumatic internal head injuries that at this point appear to be the main cause of his death. His name is Benjamin John Holman, and he's 29 years of age. The vehicle originally stopped after the impact and then fled the scene.
The individual who hit the bicyclist did come back to the scene and was later arrested.
The man driving the car, 49-year-old Joel Brett Powers of Helena, appeared in justice court by way of video as his family members listened to the charges. Powers is accused of vehicular homicide while under the influence, a felony, which holds a sentence up to 30 years. He was also charged with failure to remain at the scene of an accident involving a death, as well as misdemeanor aggravated driving under the influence. A breathalyzer test showed a blood alcohol result of 0.25. Despite a rainstorm, Holman was reportedly riding in fully visible and reflective clothing, including a helmet. The Montana Highway Patrol returned to the scene of the accident to gather more details, which will recreate exactly what happened.
We've started to reconstruct this fatality. Right now, it's indicative of the individual, the deceased, being hit and either being carried and or thrown approximately 175 feet.
Holman was said to be following all the rules of the road when he was unexpectedly struck from behind. In Helena, Melissa Anderson, MTN News. Hundreds of people turned out today in Helena to mourn the deaths of Justine Smith and Kay Richard.
Mildred Catherine Richard, better known to her friends and family as Kay or Millie Kay, was tragically taken from this world in the early morning hours on May 1st, 2013, after being involved in a two-car accident the evening before.
Kay Richard was the manager of the Montana Nugget Casino, where she worked for 13 years. The casino closed its doors for a few short hours so employees and patrons could attend and remember their longtime co-worker and friend.
She was a bright, sparkling person, a huggy, lovey mom to everyone, always looking out for everybody.
I really connected with Kay, and it's sad, but she's most definitely in a better place.
She always greeted you with a smile. She'd come up behind you and goose you, and just a sweet, sweet lady.
Kay would have been 52 this Friday.
Justine Catherine Smith was called home to God on the evening of April 30th, 2013.
16-year-old Justine Smith was a sophomore at Capitol High School. Justine and her grandma were on their way home when the accident tragically took both their lives. Friends of Justine say they aren't happy about those who choose to drink and drive.
They know that it's against the law, and they also are aware of consequences that may occur, such as this.
God, I pray that you would come to this family, put your arms around them, and let them know that you share their grief.
In Helena, Melissa Anderson, MTN News. A robbery alarm came into police around midnight Sunday from the Copper Club Casino on Euclid Avenue. A short time later, dispatchers received a phone call from an employee reporting an attempted robbery. According to reports, 2 men came into the casino in bandanas and hooded sweatshirts demanding money. Although they didn't show any weapons, that's when the fight began.
In talking to the bartender, what he indicated was that he was working alone and started hitting him and punching him, and he finally got back to the bar area, and that's when he hit the robbery alarm and also grabbed a bat and started hitting on the suspects with the bat.
According to police reports, officers arrived and found the employee holding a suspect down right here in the parking lot. The suspect received multiple injuries and was taken to St. Peter's Hospital by ambulance. The suspect taken to the ground was reportedly wearing a wig and black tape over his tattoos. The bartender drove himself to the hospital.
I think what happened was he protected himself when these people started assaulting him, and clearly from what he's indicating, it's self-protection, and he's trying to keep these people from hurting him.
The suspects never got away with any money. In Helena, Melissa Anderson, MTN News.